Today is April 3rd. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on Claibs Online, brought to you by Munganast St. Louis Acura and also our friends at Royal Banks.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.
Cardinals win last night 5-2, and Rammer, that's 2 in a row, 3 of their last 4, and they look to sweep the San Diego Padres before flying home for tomorrow's home opener in St. Louis. Another late one last night for the Cardinals, but another one where I think we're starting to maybe see more and more of what this team is really like. I believe, as you said, playing mortals like the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I think there are still reasonable concerns about what we're doing offensively. You had 10 base runners and you scored 5 of them. That's pretty darn efficient, but you'd sure like to have more hits. You sure like to get more guys going. And I think it's a matter of time. I'm not alarmed about it, but I think it is something to pay attention to. The strikeout walk ratio for the hitters was much better. I think the day before they struck out 13 times, and I think yesterday it was around 7, something like that, with 3 or 4 walks. And so a much better ratio there. So I think those are good signs.
Yeah, Cardinals will be going with Zach Thompson on the mound today, making his second start of the year against the veteran Joe Musgrove of the Padres. And the lineup the Cardinals are throwing out there tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, looks like this. They will have Brendan Donovan leading off and playing left field. Paul Goldschmidt at first, batting second. Wilson Contreras is in the lineup again. He's having a great series. He's DHing tonight. This afternoon. Nolan Arenado is playing third. Nolan Gorman dropped down to fifth in the lineup, playing second. Ivan Herrera is catching. Brandon Crawford gets his second start of the year. He's at short. Jordan Walker is in right, and Victor Scott II is in center field. Quickly, the Brandon Crawford starting. I wouldn't really be too alarmed about any kind of Mason Wynn. Is he going to play? Is he not? Against Joe Musgrove in his career, Brandon Crawford has seen him 25 times and has 2 home runs against Joe Musgrove, of course, from all those NL West Giants Padres matchups over the years. So I think it's just a lot of familiarity with the veteran, and I think these are the type of situations you're going to see Brandon Crawford play in a lot this year. When he has decent numbers or success against the pitcher, you put him out there.
And it was brought up to me, when the Cardinals start getting healthier, who are the guys that are in danger? And I'm not making any predictions or anything like that, but I do think it was interesting that last night in Memphis, Sajasi played shortstop and Fermin played second. And could Sajasi, because he's got a really good bat, if he can show reasonable versatility, could that be his early role with the Cardinals? Not predicting anything, but I'm just trying to watch things.
Are you saying if Mason Wynn struggles?
No, moreover, if guys come back and you need roster spots, and if Crawford doesn't do well and just some other things like that, I think, because Ciani will be the first guy to go.
Yes.
And unless Victor Scott just all of a sudden is striking out every at bat. None of us anticipate that. But I think Ciani would be the first. And then if somebody else comes back or an infielder gets hurt, it's something to keep an eye on, how they're using some of these other guys.
And I think right now it depends on who comes back too. I think that's kind of the bigger question as far as Nootbaar or Dylan Carlson, which one comes back the quickest out of that. Because if Carlson comes back first, I don't think you change anything. I think Ciani goes down. If Lars Nootbaar comes back, then I think that presents more of a problem, because you do want to get Lars Nootbaar a lot more at bats than you're looking to get Dylan Carlson. Does that kind of have a trickle down effect of, Ciani's still the first one to go, but is it more a case of, all right, maybe Brendan Donovan plays a little more at second base or at shortstop? Maybe you move him around a little more
every
to continue
day, yeah.
Victor Scott more and more of those starts out in center and just kind of piece other things together here and there. I think that's what you look at.
Mix and match and go with matchups. You just got to be really careful of that, because consistency is something that most athletes prefer. And, hopefully you end up playing your best guys. And that's obviously what their goal is, but there's got to be some performance-based playing time more often than not. It's still so early. We'll just see what happens.
For the Padres, their lineup looks like this. Xander Bogaerts is at second, Fernando Tatis Jr. in right, Jake Cronenworth at first, Manny Machado DHing, Ha-Sung Kim at short, Jurickson Profar in left, Yuji Rosario is at third, Jose Azocar is in center, and Kyle Higashioka is behind the plate for San Diego this afternoon. Joe Musgrove on the mound, as I mentioned earlier, in the broadcast. Miles Mikolas last night, a very good outing again to kind of make up for what he did opening day in Los Angeles. Yeah, again, a good outing for Miles. Zach Thompson gets the ball today for the Cardinals. Lance Lynn will have it tomorrow in the home opener. Rammer, yesterday in the game too, it was a save situation, and we saw Ryan Helsley come out again. You saw Miles Mikolas go 6, so you went with Gallegos in the 7th, Kittredge in the 8th, and Helsley in the 9th. Helsley last night only needed 13 pitches to get through that 9th. The day before, was it 6 pitches?
Yeah.
The day before. So we've talked about this. I guess this is our first opportunity to possibly see what Ryan Helsley's conditioning has been like this offseason. 6 pitches on Monday, 13 pitches on Tuesday. If you want to be a top-paid, top-tier closer, you come in and you should be able to close out the game today.
Theoretically, yes. We'll see how the game plays out. Maybe in a perfect world, to kind of take that decision-making pressure off of Ollie's plate, get a 5 or 6 run lead and hold it and win the game with a big margin. Obviously, the other alternative is to be behind. So, and then he being Helsley would be available for tomorrow in St. Louis. But you got to play the games as they come and be prepared.
Yeah, so this is, hopefully we get a lot of opportunities like this year to see 3 saves in a row and see how the Cardinals handle it. But we're seeing more of what this team we hoped would look like in the going into the 2024 season with what we're seeing, what we've seen the last 2 days out of them. I saw some stats on Victor Scott. We saw him leg out that double yesterday, hit the ball to right field. Fernando Tatis Jr., one of the best defensive right fielders in the game, and Victor Scott was able to beat it out to second base, averaging right now 30.6 feet per second on sprint speed, and and has the most I guess has been clocked as the fastest player in baseball with the bursts. I guess another one of the analytics that you can look into for some of the plays that he has had to make, just really showcasing those wheels. And we saw it again last night. And I believe every time he's gotten on base this year, he scored in the early goings.
Yeah.
You can't really take anything. I mean, you can't discount anything speed-wise. I mean, he is as advertised as far as the legs go. That's something that you don't need. That moves up every level no matter what. There's no adjustments that need to be made when it comes to how fast a guy is, and that's exactly what we're seeing out of him so far in the early going. But Rammer, so far in these first few games, now we are 6 games into the season. I guess cause for concern out of anybody so far. I mean, Arenado's 1 for 4 last night, hitting a $160. Burleson not hitting the way that we saw him hit in spring, hitting 176, out of the lineup again today. What concerns right now do you have as you look at this team being 3-3 in the early goings?
Got to hit more. The whole lineup except maybe Donovan. Everybody's got to hit more. Did I freeze up on you, Joe?
Yeah, I lost you there for a second, but we have you back now. No,
everybody in the lineup's got to hit more. To me, that's a concern.
We'll see how Joe Musgrove, how they handle Joe Musgrove this afternoon. Around baseball, around the rest of Major League Baseball, Rammer, there are only two teams left that have not won a game yet in the on the season, and as of right now, one of those teams is playing, and they're down 2-0 in the third inning. The Marlins thought that they could get rid of Kim Na, move on from her after making the playoffs last year. They are now 6 innings away from being 0-7 to start the new season.
Yeah, team hates to dig a hole, but I think they like their club a little bit. And, I like them too. And because of Skip Schumacher and Arias, I'm kind of a fan, and also Jake Berger. So I'm a casual fan of the Marlins. So I think they've got enough talent that they'll dig out of it. It may take some time, though.
Yeah, and if anything, you'd like to maybe see them get their first win today, so they're not as hungry coming into St. Louis this weekend. That would be that would be nice to not have them as playing as tight maybe or as as hungry as they could be. Game starts at 3:10 local time, and then the team will fly back. Cardinals for the home opener tomorrow. All of the for the news and notes for the home opener, Rammer. All of the you'll have a long list of Hall of Famers there for the game tomorrow. I think I saw the list earlier as I bring it up here. The list of Hall of Famers tomorrow, and will include. Oh, I just had it here. Here we go. Ozzie Smith, Matt Holliday, Jim Edmonds, Ray Lankford, Ted Simmons, Whitey Herzog, Tom Herr, John Tudor, Jason Isringhausen, Jose Oquendo, Scott Rowland, and Willie McGee. Oh, and Tony La Russa as well. So that's.
I need to look at that list so I can come up with a lineup. It's a pretty good club.
You're hitting, or who are you leading off with in that lineup?
Well, I don't have it in front of me. As you went through it, there would be a number of candidates, though.
I'd say Ray Lankford or Willie McGee, right? They're one of those two leading off for you. Probably
Willie because of Ray's power.
Yeah, and then I think you go Edmonds second, Holliday third, Rowland fourth.
Oh, I don't know if I can go Jimmy second.
I liked him when he was in that 2-hole.
He hardly ever hit there. He usually hit behind Albert, either fourth or fifth, depending on who was pitching.
We'll have to look at this, and we will. We'll look at the list of that. I don't think we have 9 available, so I don't think you could make a full lineup unless you just want to add Yachty and Albert and just assume they already their red jackets, they've already been fitted for them. They already know the size. Yeah. It's just a matter. It's just a matter of them getting to Cooperstown and actually handing it to them.
Well, go through that list again. You got Simmons to catch.
Yes.
And he probably hits fourth or fifth.
Okay.
You got tons of power there with Rowland, Edmonds, Simmons.
Holiday.
Who else? Holiday. Yeah. This is probably the La Russa influence. They probably have Holiday hit second.
Man,
because he did do that sometimes.
I remember Edmonds hitting second more than I ever remember Holiday hitting second.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna baseball reference this. I'm gonna text you when we finish the show, but I'll have the notes for tomorrow.
Go look at 04. Go look at 04 when they had MV3, and they usually hit 3, 4, 5. And then when Larry Walker came over, he was usually solidly in that 2-hole. That's my recollection.
I do remember Walker hitting second in that lineup for them. So I'll look it up and we'll see who hit second more for the team. Oquendo, you just put him anywhere, wherever you need to fill in somebody. But I'm guessing he's probably playing second base in this lineup.
Yeah, it sounded like you got. What is it? Rowland, Ozzie,
if you have Ozzie, Holiday, Edmonds, Lankford, Simmons, Oquendo, Rowland, and McGee, that's 8. So
you're only missing a first baseman.
Yeah, and I mean, you just assume Albert's there.
You just
say Albert.
Well, if you got Albert with all those other guys, just pull it out of a hat. It doesn't even matter.
That's true. So we'll make your lineup for that tomorrow.
That's fun though. That goes to show you that talent that has come through and how much fun they were. It was such a great group.
Yeah. So that's tomorrow afternoon. We will come to you around noon or 1 tomorrow. Get you everything set for the Cardinals home opener in 2024. We are brought to you each and every day by Royal Banks of Missouri and our friends over at Munganast St. Louis Acura. Check them out online at stlouisacura.com or Munganast Burkhart Alton Toyota at altontoyota.com. Back with you tomorrow for opening day, Daily Cards Live, right here on Claves Online.
A swing and a long drive. It's a goaler in the Cardinal bullpen.
I'm a superpower. Yeah. Stand tall. Yeah. Raise strength from within me. Work hard till I die to the top. Take it with me. No heights of my greatness. Now I'm free from the limits. I can fly like I'm weightless.
All right, I got the baseball references. Let's see, for Jim Edmonds. Dive into the...
Where do you find that on Baseball Reference? I know the basic stuff.
If you scroll through, I think it's the splits page.
Splits.
I think if you go to the splits, you can find where they were most of the time. It has all kinds of stuff, like what their average was, like batting in certain
spots in the order.
Yeah. Let's see. So Edmonds batting second. In his career, Jim Edmonds batted second 349 times or 349 games for 1,519 plate appearances. Matt Holliday batted second only 25 times in his career for 92 at-bats or for 101 plate appearances.
Yeah, but we weren't really drawing a comparison with those two. We were talking about, did Jim Edmonds hit second a bunch for the Cardinals? That was really the question.
Who else would he have hit second a bunch for? So let's see. He hit second 131 at-bats in 2003, 128 at-bats in 2005.
So one out of every once a week, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
Right. So it looks like about a month or so, 5 weeks out of the season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did it for a few weeks and then – so, yeah, but Holliday, I mean, honestly, Holliday almost never did. I mean, he did –
I wonder if those 25 games were all with the Cardinals.
2010, he did it for 40 at-bats, and then who was he with in 2014? Was he still with the Cardinals in 14?
I don't have it in front of me. I don't know.
That's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah, he was still in St. Louis for 14. So, yeah, I remember. I mean, Holliday, I remember him just always hitting third or fourth. And, like, he hit fourth, and then when Pujols left, he moved up to third and stayed there.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I remember it as. So, yeah. All right.
When I get off the air tomorrow, I'll head home.